Hello, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Marisa.
I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. As a reminder, this podcast is rated T for teen for strong language and mature themes.
Well, and if you don't like that, you can suck it! I don't have an alternative for you, but that actually leads really well into our topic for today.
Yeah, so this week is one of our we're not talking about Nancy Drew topics so that we can stay sane and still want to make this podcast.
Guess what, guys? This is our last podcast of 2020, so let's make this fucker count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that
would be the reason why we're discussing a show that's dear to our hearts.
Very near and dear. We are talking about Psych, which is top 10 TV shows ever.
Absolutely.
Like, just maybe even top 5. I'm not going to try and make this episode to me just listing my top favorite TV shows.
Then there's...
I mean, The Good Place is really at the top of that. But yeah, Psych. It is fantastic. Ariana, please tell us, what do we like about it, and why should they watch it?
Okay, do you want me to read my whole thing?
Yeah, you do your thing.
All right. Y'all ready for this? Okay.
S tier.
An underachieving genius and his absolutely sexy, nerdy best friend, not that I'm biased or anything, go around like bumbling Sherlock and Watson. Even his Watson is an underachiever since he's a pharmaceutical rep instead of a doctor. And make the Santa Barbara Police Department look like fucking chumps. Meanwhile, Sherlock's father... Sherlock's fairly abusive but completely well-meaning father hangs around to tell Sherlock what he's missing and remind him of traumatic but informing tests he faced as a child. His long-term enemy/arch rival is a stylistic murderer. Why haven't you watched this already?
Yeah. I mean, some of our listeners might literally just be, like, a little too young to have watched it when it was on TV.
Yeah, but they had the movie recently. I didn't watch it, but
I have not watched either of the movies. There's 2 of them. I have not watched them. We are judging this solely on just the TV show. Oh no, we're fake Psych fans. God, I cannot say that. Fake Psych fans. Because we haven't seen the movies.
Psych!
I was following all of them on Twitter for a while, but I pretty much unfollowed all of them except for James Roday.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they just spammed other things.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. However,
but
yeah, continue.
Oh yeah, Psych is about a highly intelligent young man at the time. We watch him get a little older.
It's fun.
It's really fun. But he is very clever, but doesn't want to put in any effort. And so in his effort to not put in any effort, but also to make a police officer who is getting on his nerves look stupid, he's like, I'm a psychic. Actually, he technically just does it to, so he fakes being a psychic detective when actually he's just a very good detective.
Yeah, but he couldn't, he
follows
be a cop,
none of
so
the rules of being a detective.
Okay, so I will say that this is, out of, like, shows about cops, this is low on the lower end of the propaganda scale, but we are still noting that it is.
Yeah.
And we mostly see that in, like, we're supposed to see that Juliet is, like, the good cop, you know? She does things the right way, and she makes all the right decisions and stuff, and some of that time is when it's, like, not legal. And we're supposed to just be like, well, she's the good cop, so if she's doing it, then it's fine. And it's like, no, that's a violation of your rights, but
okay.
She does it with a smile. But, however, this is our comfort propaganda. So
Absolutely.
You are allowed one propaganda.
I have 2.
Like,
I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I haven't watched any of it, ever.
Yeah.
I've seen like a couple of the cold opens.
They're really the best parts.
It's about. But
I mean, that's not true at all.
Yeah. So
anyway,
yeah. However,
Psych. But let's just. It's a great show that's not just about the cop part of it.
Yeah.
It is largely, in fact, it's really not very cop based because the whole point is Sean Spencer, our protagonist, making police officers look fucking incompetent because they don't bother to actually notice things. They jump to conclusions, and Sean is there to have a psychic episode and drag poor Gus, his best friend, Bruton Gooster.
Gaster.
What is it? No, Bruton...
Gaster?
Gaster, that's it. Bruton Gaster. As he is noted in the museum.
In the newspaper.
In the newspaper about the museum. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Which I did not list that episode on my favorite episodes. I was already pretty far in and looking at how many I have listed, and it's maybe too many.
Basically, every episode, because the great thing about it is each episode is really just kind of like a short novel.
Yeah.
So you get to just go through the Poirot of it, like, you know.
Honestly, I wouldn't even say, like, calling it Sherlock Holmes is really all that, far off at all.
No.
Because it very much has that kind of ridiculous thing. Like, someone thinks he's a werewolf.
Yeah.
And you have to disprove, like, that's the kind of thing that happens in Sherlock Holmes, where it's that kind of shit, so.
There is an episode in which it looks like a vampire is killing people. Yeah.
There was one where they think a mummy has walked out of his exhibit. So it's like, it's very, very Sherlock Holmes. And that includes him just being an insufferable ass for most of the time. Like, you definitely like him. He's a likable
asshole,
protagonist,
but he's an asshole nonetheless.
He's an asshole. He's like a cat.
Yes. He's absolutely a cat. He just
pushes things over the edge to see if he can.
Right down to the point where he names his psychic detective agency Psych, just to throw in everyone's faces that he's psyching them out, and he's not really psychic. Yeah. Do you guys get it? Do you guys fucking get it? Because nobody else seems to get it in the whole fucking show.
No.
It's not true. They end up bringing it up at some point.
They take it at face value.
Yeah. Like, oh, he's a psychic. People don't just claim to be psychics.
Yeah. Of course not. You think people would do that? Just lie and say they're psychic?
Nobody does that. Plus, he's right. And when you're right, that means you're psychic.
Yeah. Obviously.
Not that you have excellent,
you were traumatized and conditioned.
Yeah, a good part of the show, we have flashbacks to young Sean.
The start of every episode.
It is a scene of young Sean being taught a lesson by his father, Henry, who is a cop. And not a great dad. Not a great dad in the slightest. No.
Just awful. We see why his wife divorces him.
Yeah. Basically, we understand, and he kind of gets it, but he's sort of in an asshole phase, and he's just gonna ride it out in his fucking Hawaiian shirts and fishing hat bullshit. He's a very good-looking man, and then he puts those clothes on.
Yeah.
But anyway, so every episode we get Sean being damaged by his father,
and teaching him a valuable lesson.
Drilling into his brain an observation or a rule of thumb that becomes useful in that episode.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. It's like
sometimes we'll flash back and forth.
Flashback to teaching him to look at a room for 30 seconds or like 5 seconds and then turn around and have to describe everything.
Yeah. How many hats were there in this room?
Yeah. Exactly. So it's fantastic. Do you want to go talking about our favorite characters?
Yes. Because honestly, that's what I was getting ready to say, is the relationships and the character development in this show is really...
it's character-driven.
Yeah, it is a very character-driven. You know, because it was on USA, and characters are welcome. But yeah, amazing. Okay, so... So Sean is obviously a great character.
Yes, fantastic. I am saying that I'm like, honestly, the banter, the big nose, I'm already there.
Right.
Like, I love him. He's fantastic. He's an asshole, but he's great.
I have a soft spot in general for competent underachievers. It's like, oh, they're capable of doing much more than this, but they don't fucking feel like it. It's like,
yeah,
God damn you. You got potential. But, yeah.
Amazing.
So he's fantastic, and the only thing that really makes him better is the partnering of Sean with his best friend since they were in kindergarten, Gus.
Yeah. So, Gus and Sean, this is, for me, the biggest, like, example of what, like, a queer platonic relationship looks like. They are, like, platonically, like, soul-bound.
Yes.
You know? Like, it's not, like, the same as a romantic one, because they both have romantic relationships with other people and don't seem to have any kind of, like, jealousy in that way. It's just literally just spending time with other people and stuff. They have, like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a very good, healthy portrayal of a male friendship, and I appreciate that greatly.
Yeah.
I'm always appreciative of a good male relationship. Like, they are absolutely married in their hearts, only so much as they have to do everything together. Yeah. The bits that they do are just, and honestly, it helps that Dule Hill and James Roday have such fucking chemistry. They just bounce quips off each other like it's insane.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Honestly.
And this is my partner, Penny Whistle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. They play off each other really well. And I've had a thing for Dule Hill since Holes.
Yeah.
I can fix that. It's like, you know?
Why are you kissing Patricia Arquette? This isn't okay. You're too beautiful.
It's true. He really is.
Yeah, and then he starts tap dancing. Yeah. And it's like, shit.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But yeah, honestly, the cast is it's a small ensemble, but an ensemble.
Yeah, and I definitely would say that I like every character for at least some reason, but outside of Gus and Sean, I don't, like, fully love them.
Yeah.
I think the show is really carried on Gus and Sean. They're
absolutely.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Maggie Lawson and all the rest. They're fantastic.
The actors are great. It's their characters don't always make sense just because they have to be obstinate in order for the show to have any kind of tension. So it's like, okay, but Julia, you know he's fucking right, so why aren't you backing this up? It's like, just because you want to be a stony bitch because you found out he's faking being a psychic? That's right.
Ariana.
What?
Ariana.
I mean, okay, it's a show about a fake psychic. Eventually, everybody finds out he's not Like,
I mean, I had hoped that they would end the show before that happened.
You had hoped that
that show drags on a little, I will admit. The last, 2 seasons, not great, but otherwise, it's, a really, really good show for when it's a good show. For that
they tried to add a finality that didn't,
it just didn't
sit right for its already episodic nature.
Yeah.
It's just just end it. It's fine. Just leave it there. It's the last book in the in the series. It's fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
But there are some there are some reoccurring characters that happen. For instance, my favorite is of course Yang, but I can't say anything about Yang.
Yeah, because we don't want to ruin that
for
you guys.
Let's talk about the episodes we like.
The episodes we like. So the first, fave episodes, the first thing I wrote down was the Yin Yang trilogy.
So good.
Very, very good. They are based around serial killers. We won't talk too much about them. The first one is all just clues and stuff. And Sean's trying to figure out what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then the second one is
Hitchcock themed.
Yeah, it's all Hitchcock themed. And then the last one is the final one.
Yeah.
So they're really, really good. If I'm I want to just watch a couple episodes of something, I will go and I'll find these episodes and just watch them.
Absolutely. Definitely. Those 3 episodes, because Reese and I would just sit down and we'd go, oh, let's just watch these 3 episodes, because luckily they're they're 3 seasons in a row, the finales.
Finale, yeah.
So it's just okay, just go to the last episode.
Yeah.
Just pop them in. Yeah. The next one you brought up, but I also wanted to...
Sean Takes a Shot in the Dark is such a good episode. It starts out with the opening with our flashback to young Sean having a talk with his dad about how you get out of the trunk of a car when someone puts you there, and we then go into this framing of what we're seeing happening is in the future almost. We're gonna go take a look in the past to see what comes after it, right? To catch up. I'm
the
floundering.
The episode is the episode starts with Sean being kidnapped, and so we're going between young Sean being taught lessons by his dad about what to do in these sorts of scenarios, actually paying off, and so then we see them paying off, how Sean can accomplish them now, and we also see his father. We're going to be honest, this is one of the ones where Henry comes in, because occasionally Henry Spencer is brought in as a fucking consult because he used to be a cop, and they're well, we can't stop you from solving cases, apparently. And it's you guys can't just let these people do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. They are civilians. I don't think this is how the justice system is supposed to work.
No.
But,
It's not. But,
But, so just them trying to find him, dealing with being in situations that he can't necessarily, because he's so good used to talking his way out of things that he's oh God, I have to physically get out of this. I can't charm my way out of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's good. It's real good.
Yeah. It's just fantastic. I love it so much. And it's one of the other ones that I will just watch if I'm I need to watch an episode of something.
Michael Rooker's in that episode. He's isn't he? The mechanic.
Garth,
yeah.
Longmore.
Fucking
Garth
name.
Longmore. Fantastic. Yes, I think so.
Michael Rooker. Sorry. Otherwise this is going to bug me. Because it sure as hell looks like him in my memory, but I also have a tendency to replace people.
People, yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah, very valid.
Oh, fuck you. 125 credits? Fuck you.
Control F that bitch.
Sorry. Yes, Garth Longmore.
I was
Cool.
right with the name. I'm so glad. For a second after I said it, I was like, that's not right.
I had thought you said lawnmower.
No,
Like lawnmower. So that's a hell of a name. But anyway, great fucking episode. Sean takes a shot in the dark.
Yeah, it is. The next one
It's fucking rad.
I also put down was Tuesday the 17th, which is
So good.
so fucking good. I love it. It is a play on Friday the 13th, as you can hear from the title. But, where a guy that Gus and Sean used to know at a camp comes to, they went to summer camp together with this dude. He shows up and he's like, hey, can you guys take a case from me? I bought the new, I bought the camp. And I'm trying to fix it up, and there's just been, some mysterious circumstances, and I would like you to come look.
It's a fun episode that's just played like a fucking slasher movie, and it is awesome.
It's so fantastic. Honestly, it's like, I watch it almost every Tuesday the 17th.
It's good.
It's so fantastic. God, I love it. I don't have those DVDs with me, though. And I think Psych is just on Prime.
It is.
Yeah,
it is on Prime.
It's the one thing I don't have.
I'm sorry. I think I have them.
You do, and the Daria ones. It's okay,
Yeah.
I have my own Daria ones now.
Sorry.
If you want to learn about Daria, you can go to our other podcast episode where we talked about Daria. It's 3 months ago. 2 months ago? I don't know. I don't know dates anymore. 2020 has just ruined that.
Another awesome episode. I like how our episodes really are just all over the place with the seasons, because it's there is not a bad season of that show. Well, I guess we didn't really list
the last one.
Last few seasons, but I haven't seen them as much, so
I haven't seen them. I don't know very much either. Maybe once.
Once, yeah, I watched them once. Scary Sherry, Bianca's Toast. Another fantastic one that has just that's one of the good ones to watch on Halloween, guys.
Yeah, and it's definitely it's another one where it's very stylized as if it's a horror movie, but not a slasher.
Sorority horror film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic because of that. I love it. And Juliet goes undercover, and I love Juliet, so any episode that's Juliet themed, I tend to enjoy.
Something that y'all should know about Juliet is when she goes undercover, she goes under fucking cover. She becomes her fucking personalities every time.
Yeah.
It is...
We have 2 of those on here. Fantastic.
I'm noticing that as well. But yeah, no, it's a haunting one. It's good. Just watch it. We can't. Don't worry about it.
We don't want to ruin that one for you. I'm
just bringing it up. It's a good one. It's got great, Canadian actors in it. So, by the way, this was shot in Canada. And they're like, oh, we're in Southern California. And I was like, guys.
You're in Vancouver.
You're in Vancouver. Anyway.
You're in British Columbia. We know. It's okay. You can just say. But no, Santa Barbara. That's why they're all chilly all the time. You can see their breath sometimes. And
constantly. That old crisp Santa Barbara weather.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, the next one I chose was Dual Spires, which is a play on Twin Peaks, and it's so good.
Oh, so good.
I absolutely love it. It, hits all the right notes. And don't they have the actors from Twin Peaks?
They do. A lot of the actors in the episode a majority of them are from Twin Peaks. If you guys don't know what Twin Peaks is, I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix or Hulu.
It's on something.
Anyway, and I know that they released an all new season for some reason.
Did not watch that.
I did. But it's wonderful. It has some of the best bits because if you guys don't know Twin Peaks, it was a weird, over-the-top, supernatural mystery show in the early 90s.
If you have ever played Deadly Premonition is based on
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks, thank you.
Yeah. If you know anything about David Lynch, you understand what's going to be happening. You know what you're going in for.
Yeah.
Weird characters that act absolutely insane. And then, so the episode is largely making fun of the melodrama of that show.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Right down to the music.
Yeah. And there's pie.
They go there for a cinnamon festival, and they leave with a body.
I want
pie. Pie would be delightful.
And it doesn't even take egg. Okay.
There you go.
Sorry. Every time I'm like, I want to bake something. But it takes egg. I'm allergic to egg now. But
Boyfriend Meister has been finding a lot of, because we didn't have eggs at one point, and we didn't have, it's like, okay, well, what are alternatives? So he's been doing a lot of alternative baking.
Yeah, I mean, you can just add in, generally, just fat you can use to replace, or liquid, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of research because I'm allergic to eggs now. But yeah.
The next one on the list. Oh, so good. Anyway, the next one on this list, for me, personally, lights, camera, homicidio.
Yeah. So just to start off, James Roday, who plays Sean Spencer, is portrayed in the show as white. He is not. He's Mexican, and in the first season or so, he's very tan and everything, and it looks like they didn't let him go outside for the rest of the show to make himself paler.
Because he's got white people playing his parents.
Yeah. So,
and
that's just this, like, why this episode is okay.
Yeah. This is... Okay, so in this episode, there is, it's actually very much like, Stay Tuned for Danger, but done well.
Yeah.
Sean has to go undercover, in a, telenovela. I don't remember what it's supposed to be called, but anyway. But, someone's been murdered? I don't remember if anyone's been murdered or not yet, but there's at least threats of murder.
Yeah, there's threats.
On the star of the show. And so, anyway, Sean goes undercover as a telenovela star, but... So we get James Roday Rodriguez, as he changed his name back. Holla. So he's trying to fake not knowing Spanish because
it's hilarious.
Sean doesn't know enough Spanish to get by.
It's great.
It's really a fun episode, and Sean becomes a soap opera star.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
It's delightful. Yeah. The next one you put on the list.
Yeah, Gus walks into a bank. So this is an episode where Gus goes into a bank just as the bank is being robbed, and he gets stuck as a hostage while Sean is outside waiting for him in the car. So basically what happens is Sean takes over the hostage negotiation, gets inside, and figures out that the guy, I don't want to spoil the entire thing. I'll stop there.
He gets in. Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Because Sean Spencer is the type of man who will make friends with the person taking him hostage.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get good treatment.
Yeah.
Because everybody else in those scenarios sucks. You have to kiss the fuck up.
Well, also, it's just like the only way you're going to get someone, like, de-escalate the situation is to, like, reason with them in a way. Like, otherwise you're just going in and endangering everyone and everything.
It has appearances from two great actors in it. Gary Cole plays the hostage negotiator initially.
Yeah.
and Alan Ruck.
Yeah.
Alan Ruck is
the bank robber.
The bank robber.
Love it.
And it's great. It's one of those times him staying relevant is delightful.
Mean, they have a lot of, 80s teen,
Yeah, that is a theme
stars
throughout the show. There are a lot of, let's see, they get Ali Sheedy. At one point, Judd Nelson was on it.
He's also just referenced in another episode.
Oh my god. Corey... Not Dead One? No, but there's a lot of 80s stars, and basically all of Sean and Gus's references are to 80s films, TV, musics. Because
that's when they were kids in the 80s. So
yeah. And so it's really fun when eventually they start dealing with, when they're in their 30s and they're dealing with, teenagers or young 20s, and they're like, what's that? And they're like, son, don't talk to us. We're not old.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the next one I put down, because I just listed a bunch. Were you done talking about Gus walks into
No,
the
yeah,
bank?
I was done.
Cool. The next one I put down is Talk Derby to Me, which is where crimes are happening and a roller derby team is suspected of doing crimes. So Juliet
doing crimes
and tries to get in their gang, basically. And it's fantastic because Juliet is wearing roller derby gear, and I don't think I have to explain any more.
See, that was me learning really what roller derby was.
Yeah.
At that time, and so I was just like, it's my favorite parts of hockey, but without the bullshit. the actual shoving part, not the I'm gonna drop my gloves and my stick and we're gonna fisticuffs and I'll put your blood all over the ice.
We should talk about Letterkenny at some point.
We should talk about Letterkenny, absolutely. Fuck off, Jonesy. Your mom. Anyway,
Okay.
But so it's just the actual fight is fucking rad.
Yeah.
But yeah. Roller derby, guys. It's basically that's the thing. These episodes are all they have ambiance coming out their asses. These episodes are just fucking
yeah.
Everything is themed. Everything they made sure to get directors in there for each episode that treated it like its own little film.
Yeah.
It was delightful.
Yeah. I think the thing about Psych that makes it so good to me is that it commits.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it does a bit, it commits. It goes, and it doesn't shy away from just taking the chance to do something incredibly stylistic. What is it? Murder Bueller? That one? Where
Bueller, Murder. Which one is it?
It's
anyway,
one of those. Where it's a full-on, he's at his high school reunion, and he found a body, and no one believes him. And it just commits to that. It's
then
fantastic.
there's Rachel Lee Cook.
Yeah.
Who did,
yeah.
Although she's not an 80s star.
She's a 90s star.
90s.
But,
Rachel Lee Cook.
Yep. Fantastic.
But, yeah, we could, list all of them, really.
These are just the ones I could remember the names of, off the top of my head. I didn't want to, do too much looking, because if I had to look for it, it wouldn't have been a favorite.
Spelling Bee, which is spelled incorrectly.
It is.
There's also, let's see if I can name some of them. Poker, I hardly know her.
Yeah. Oh gosh, there's one that's a play on No Country for Old Men, but I don't remember what it.
Yeah.
There's also one with
Do a lot of movie parodying.
Yeah. There's a lot of... what's the High Noon one? High Noon, sort of? Is that the name of it?
High Noonish or something like that?
Yeah, High Noonish.
High quarter... on any given Tuesday.
Like
yeah.
That one's really good. I love that one, actually. That one always reminds me of Shadow Ranch.
Yeah.
Every single time, because it's got, like, the ghost town and everything.
Where Lassie grew up, basically.
Yep. Because he has parent issues. Both parents.
But not his wife's, not his mother's wife. Her, he's fine with.
Yeah.
It's his biological parents that he's got a problem with.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about Psych before we go?
We should do Sporkle Psych quizzes that...
Maybe. Not right now.
Was in the Psych fan club.
You sure were.
I have a Psych a pillow that's a pineapple, because you had to find the pineapple hidden in every episode.
Yeah.
I found every fucking one.
It's true. Like
there were competitions online. You had to find it first.
It was a whole thing.
Yeah, they made the internet a whole part of the fucking show.
It did.
Was awesome.
They did lots of like hashtag something or other.
I joined in a lot of fucking competitions and shit.
Yeah.
Played all of their fucking games that were done like you were their intern. But anyway.
So yeah, that's why we think you should watch Psych.
That's why we think everyone should watch Psych.
Yeah. So if you would like to tell us your opinion of Psych, you can find us on our Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, our Discord, our Facebook, or our fancy website, krolmeistersisters.knifefightclub.com. I wrote it down this time.
Yay, sister. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. And in those places, you can tell us how much you liked Psych. I guess. I think that sends a mixed message. Maybe just talk about us on those things.
Yeah. Just talk about...
Just talk about us.
Talk about us. So if you would like to support us, you can subscribe to us.
Yep.
You can subscribe to us over on Twitch to get access to our cute little wine glass emote, our Scopa emote, and at tier 2, our Peace Out emote. You also get podcast night VODs and to that special backer channel on our Discord. Which reminds me, you can also support us over on patreon.com/KrolmeisterSisters, where you can get access to the backer channel on the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Podcast night VODs. You also get stream cat pictures, and you can tell us what to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, you can also be turned... Is that still a thing?
Yeah. You can be a sim in my neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as a reminder, I'm Risa.
I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister Sisters. And we're asking you guys to stay sleuthy.